what I've got here is just a quick little machining job. A buddy of mine dropped this knob off. It goes to his soft top on his Jeep. And what the issue is, these ends are plastic. And over the years of tightening and loosening, they just strip right out. It just has a spline pressed in on the shaft. And it presses in. And just cranking tight and cranking it loose. Like I said, it strips right out. This plastic cracks. And it's just a poor design for years of use. So what he did was he bought these metal knobs here, but he doesn't like the feel of them. He wants me to make this knob kind of match this knob. The only thing is he wants the knurl left on here, he wants it left round, he just wants this diameter to match this diameter, and that diameter is 1/2 inch. Then the only other thing, this bolt measures 5/16, and the threads in here are M8. So I have to drill this out to 5/16, and he wants it drilled all the way through the knob so he can position it where it needs to be and then weld it up, and if there's extra he can cut it off or what so if not. So fairly simple. I just have to take this down to 500 thou and drill a 5/16 hole through it. Now with that being said, he has 4 of these. And I went ahead and I got 3 of them done, as you can see. The first step that I do is I'll take this outside and I'll take an angle grinder and I'll cut the nub off with the cutoff wheel. And that's just like this. It's just to save some machining time, some wear and tear on the tooling. And I think in the end it's quicker to do it like this instead of just machining this all down, because I don't have great tooling right now to take a lot of material off. And then once this is cut off, I will chuck this up, or I can't say chuck it, vise it up in the milling machine and deck it down to 525 thousandths, and that's the look of this. Once this is to 525 thou, I'll remove it from the milling machine and then I'll mount it in the lathe, and the first thing I do is I drill my 5/16 through hole through this, and I'm using a center drill that measures exactly 5/16, so I just send it all the way through. And then once that's drilled out, as you can see the holes all the way through there, I then face the additional 20 or 25 thousandths off of the front side. And it depends, because sometimes I take these to 525, sometimes I take them to 520. They're not too crucial, it's just the knob. And then that's as far as these goes. And then I have one more step I want to do to the nub before it's done. And it's probably hard to see on the camera, but this is a sharp edge between the knurl and where I machined. So what I want to do is I want to chuck this up in the lathe and come in about 40 thousandths and just kind of like put a step so I can break the edge from here to the step and then the step to the knurl. And that way it kind of like separates the knurl from the finished edge. And that will look a lot better, and I think it will feel better too. But I gotta wait till this one's done to do that final dressing up of the knurl, I should say, on these ones. So I guess let's take this outside and get the nub cut off with the angle grinder. Setting the parallels up, trying to make sure they're even at each side of the jaw. As you can tell, nub is cut off. Just set this down in there and snug her up. Since these are just knobs, they're not too crucial. I don't have to make sure they're 100% sitting true. Just give it a little tappity tap with the dead blow. Crank her down. Since I ran the other 3 of these, my knee is already set to 0 at the final dimension of 520. So I just have to lower the knee and then come back up to the amount that I lowered it. Throw the phase converter on. all spinning. Put some mixed looby on there. I've been taking 20 thou cuts on these. So each time I raise the table, I've been raising it 20 thou. And that way I end up on 0 on my final cut, which technically the final cut I take an additional, well, I can't say additional, but I split the final cut in half. I'll take 15 thou and then I'll do a 5 thou finish cut at real slow speeds. There it is, down to the initial size of 520. If you can see this or not. There's 520 to the lathe. So there's the knob. We'll put the machine side in. Try to get that in the hole. Clamp her down. Slide that in. Bring it out. There it is, all faced off, 1/2 inch thick. Last step to do is to put a little, I don't want to say chamfer on this knurl. Boom! There it is. All 4 are machined. As you can tell, they're 1/2 inch thick. On this side here, I have that little step. Everything is, you know, filed down nice and smooth. They all got the 5/16 center hole in there. And that basically is going to operate something like so. Slides through, that knurl part will get pressed in wherever it needs to be, and then he'll plug weld up this end there to make a new knob, kind of how this one was. But yeah, simple machining project here, wasn't too bad to get done. Yeah, so there it is. I want to thank you guys for watching and have a good one.